Hello everyone, I'm Carol Pelletier Radford and I'm the author of Teaching with Light, 10 Lessons for Finding Wisdom, Balance, and Inspiration. My beautiful, wonderful book. I'm here today to launch this YouTube series to focus on the mindful living actions that are part of this book. So the 10 lessons each include stories from my life as a teacher, and there is a section in each of the chapters called Mindful Living Actions, because we know we can't separate our home life from our teaching life. Everything is integrated. And the purpose of this series is to help us understand how we can more intentionally live mindfully as we integrate our teaching lives and our home and personal lives. The launch of this video is being filmed in the Azores on San Miguel Island, and it's a beautiful tropical island in the Atlantic off the coast of Portugal. So let me just share some of the scenery so you can see where I'm sitting and catch a glimpse of the ocean waves and the clouds, and you actually may see some surfers in the ocean water. So I've decided that this mindful living series, each episode will be filmed outside. So this is the launch, the beginning of our time together, where we get to focus on what is most meaningful to us. So the first lesson is follow your heart. And my journey as a teacher, following my heart into teaching, started when I was very young. But as I work with many of you in our circles of light, I've discovered that we all come to teaching in very, very different ways. So this chapter is reminding us why we chose to teach and where did our heart, how was our heart involved in that decision? And were there people that discouraged us and we did it anyway? Or did you come to teaching later in life? So with the spirit of that lesson, let's just take a moment to get present. So for those of you who follow me, you know I love to do yoga for the hands, hand mudras. So tuck your thumbs into your fingers right around your thumbs and lay your hands on your lap and soften your gaze. And wherever you're sitting, listen to the sounds. So I can hear the birds chirping and I hear the ocean waves behind me. And I am getting in touch with the place that I'm sitting. Notice your breath. This mudra is called Padma Mudra, stillness. Inhaling and exhaling, drop your shoulders even more. Inhale and exhale, drop. Now take your right hand and place it over your heart. And if you want to place your left hand on your belly, just feel your heart beating. And become present in this moment, wherever you are. Come back to our space. And let's talk a little bit about the importance of mindful living and mindful living actions, taking actions to take care of ourselves. So I want to have it be beyond self-care, just going for a manicure, pedicure, facial, like all of these treatments isn't what I'm talking about. out, and they're wonderful. What I'm talking about in the mindful living sections of this book are a focus or an intention in addition to the self-care. And that the self-care doesn't have to look like a service or a reward. It can be something that we create from within. So in this chapter, this very beginning lesson as we launch the series, the focus is on joy. So think of the times in your life when you have actually felt joy. I remember the birth of my first son and my second as well. And just that uncontrollable feeling from within inside of me that was joy. And it's different from just being happy or being in a good mood. There is a sense of joy. And it does make us smile. Or just observing something in nature can bring joy. Or a child, or an animal. Many people find joy in their pets or just observing some silly little antics that your dog or cat is doing can make you laugh and kind of bring some joy into your heart. So I call it the sweet spot. So what's that sweet spot when it emerges from our hearts and within us? Self-care. So I do want to talk a little bit about the self-care. So in this lesson, I say celebrate. So when we think of celebrating, we think of birthdays and anniversaries and parties of all kind that commemorate different times of our lives, graduations, all of that. What if we could just create our own celebrations, our own rituals? Why don't you and I just plan on any day to celebrate an accomplishment, or just, sometimes I want to celebrate that I just got up out of bed this morning. So a meaningful, purposeful, intentional celebration. What would you celebrate? Think for a moment. Is there something that comes to mind that you want to celebrate in your life? This doesn't have to be over the top, Some of these big birthdays and these big celebrations and weddings cause so much stress that the joy in the celebration is actually missed in all of the effort to have things be perfect. So I'm not talking about that kind of celebration. It's that mindfulness piece of choosing something to celebrate. Now, I share in the chapter a celebration or a ritual that I learned how to do out in nature. And that's why I want these mindful living episodes to be in nature, so that we can just get out of the insides of our buildings and interact with the sounds that are all around us. So this is called Morning Altars. And in this book, you gather things in nature. You take a little walk outside and you make a pattern, a piece of art from the found objects in nature, and celebrate in gratitude the beauty that is all around us. So a celebration can be as simple as that. The two books that I share in the chapter, one of them is that Morning Altars book, and the other that I really love that I came across is called Monday Hearts for Madeline. And in these two books, the artists use nature to ritualize and commemorate love and gratitude. In Monday Hearts for Madeline, it's a tribute to someone's partner who passed away. And these beautiful and so creative hearts that were made every Monday morning to remember her sweet partner. It's just so inspiring, and you just get some joy out of just looking at this art. So this is how I'd like to leave this launching of our time together on this series of mindful living actions. Remember to listen to what your heart is whispering. we often don't get still enough. So do that mudra and get still enough to listen and check in and sit quietly to understand what it is you need to follow next. And that would come from your heart. Then, after you've listened, take some action steps. What is it you need to do to move to that next level where you can find some more joy in your life? I am a mentoring advocate, and my other books, Mentoring in Action and Becoming an Effective Teacher, all support mentoring relationships. So find a mentor. Talk about your dreams. Talk about what your heart is saying. Don't listen always to the people that may be discouraging you, because you may need to take a risk. And what would that risk look like? So let that heart lead the way. And finally, remember to see the positive in life around you, to see the beauty. Look for the silver linings and the mini successes instead of these big mountains that we create for ourselves, accomplishing things. Just going with that flow and letting your heart lead your way. You will feel the joy. When you feel the joy, that's kind of the way your heart is giving you the signal to move forward. And part of that requires us to let go of the past failures, the disappointments, what people have been saying to us. We can find that joy in the simple things around us and take mindful living actions intentionally to move us forward. And who knows, maybe you'll be in this beautiful place in the Azores like I am, as part of my following my heart to a place that I had never visited before. But my heart was saying, this is a place you need to visit, Carol. So here I am. Let's close this circle, the sacred space that we've created. Thank you for being part of this beautiful Teaching with Light series, and I look forward to sharing lesson 2 with all of you. Follow your heart.